Do you want to know how figuring out the difference between a financial delegator and a DIYer can make a huge impact on your bottom line? Well, I'll tell you how. A financial delegator is a client that we really love to work with. A financial delegator is somebody who says, I know what's important to me, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes in order to achieve the goals that I've told you about. And I'm willing to pay you for that advice, and I'm going to do what you tell me to do. Now, a DIYer, a do-it-yourselfer, is the opposite. A DIYer is somebody who wants you for your knowledge and your information, but ultimately they're going to be the ones who perhaps don't have the same commitment to implement. They're the ones who are going to want to pick and choose from your advice, maybe do a little bit over here, a little bit over there. You're not the only advisor in the picture. More than likely, DIYers are going to quibble on the fees or just simply take all of that information that you've given them and go and do it themselves elsewhere. We don't want DIYers. When we're bringing on new clients, we have to have a screening process for making sure that, hey, these are clients that we want to serve. Now, we've got a relationship with our accountancy partners, and sometimes we're going to get a client referred and we know that they're not an ideal client. Yes, sure, there's going to be work to do. It may even be very profitable work, but they're still not the right personality type for us. They're not keepers. They're not clients that we want for life. And normally, if we feel that way, then they may be feeling exactly the same thing as well. So we've got a process for being able to deal with those referrals, because we want to make sure that our accountancy partners are happy. We want to make sure that the client's happy. So we have an advice on demand process. We've gone through what we need to do in order to give them the right advice, but this isn't going to be a long-term relationship, and that's okay. The advice on demand process means that we can deal with that advice, we can get it right first time, but then we just walk away. We say, right, we are not responsible for giving you any further ongoing advice. We've done everything that we need to do to make sure that you're well set up for today. And if you want to engage with us again in the future, that's absolutely fine. You get in touch with us, and then we can help you out at that time. And of course, we'll tell you what the cost will be as well before we do any further chargeable work. That's the process that we have available if we need to look after that client, but they're not a financial delegator and not an ideal client. Now, how about if you've made an offer to a potential client to become a client of yours, not just for that initial advice, but as a lifetime client with ongoing advice, with ongoing fees and ongoing obligations. But then as that relationship progresses, you figure out that actually they're not an ideal client. Perhaps they are a DIYer in disguise. You're not going to get any pleasure from servicing them on an ongoing basis, and they're not going to get any joy from you being their advisor either. That's okay. You can be the one to make the call and to say, you know what? Actually, we don't think you need ongoing advice from us because we know you've got your financial house in good order. And on top of that, we can save you the fees every year from not receiving our ongoing advice either. And you switch them from your ongoing planning service to being advice on demand. Now, you've not shut the door on them. The door is always open for them to be able to make the call and to regroup with you. But the DIYer more than likely isn't going to do that. And that's absolutely fine. They've had the benefit of your advice, and you've not taken an obligation to service a client that just doesn't fit your profile. It's okay to change your mind. Always turn it around so that it's to the advantage of the client.